talk about some of the goals your team set for this season, and how do you feel that your team is progressing so far?
Yeah, so we set, I would say, a lot of different goals, but one of the main ones that we focused on is magic, making a greater individual contribution to the team. And so if you can bring your own contribution of your total package of magic and whatever that may look like, making sure that you're bringing that each day, every single day, whatever that percentage is for yourself, we're really trying to uphold that.
With 25 games played so far, where does this team's strengths lie?
I would say that we have a lot of different strengths. From 1 to 9, like anybody that we do put in the batting order, we are extremely strong hitting. Our numbers don't so much show that right now, but I definitely think that everybody, as a total package, can hit. Whether that's a home run, whether that's a line drive, whatever that may be. They definitely are powerful. They're a powerful bunch of girls. I will also say that our pitching staff, I definitely think that between the four of them, everybody has a different something that they bring to the table. And when they're all on or when one of them's on, it shows for the most part.
Okay. And where do you see that you guys can improve throughout these games?
I think that improving throughout the games, any game that we have played, I truly believe that we've beat ourselves. Any game that we've lost, and that's just up until now. We've whether it's walks, whether it's errors, whatever the case may be, we've somewhat beat ourselves in those games and in those aspects. So I definitely think that our weakness and something that we can continue to work on is just having more confidence within ourselves, having more confidence within the team, within whatever we're doing, whether that's hitting, pitching, fielding, having a confidence in knowing that you're capable and you're strong and you're able to do anything that you put your mind to. And I think that when they go without doubt and go without question, they're capable of anything.
So, if we could just talk about those two games that you guys played for that doubleheader with NC State. I know the scoreline for game one was 19-9 in NC State's favor, but you guys managed to hold in that game for a little bit. Could you just talk about what did you see in that game that led to the victory in game two?
Those two games, honestly, if you've watched the season as a fan and then watched those two games are a great depiction of our season in general. The first game, we have, I want to say, maybe 12 walks. We have, errors. We have different things. We have not hitting. Not to say we hit well enough in the first game to be able to win the game, but the errors and all the other things kind of came to bite us. So flipping it around, the conversation was that, we were right there. You did what you needed to do. The pitching wasn't there. The hitting wasn't always timely hitting. That's how we wanted to change into going into game two. And they came out with fire. Like, they came out with a vengeance. They came out with fire. The pitching, Jaden Davis did an amazing job the entire game, where even when, she was 3 up, 3 down, almost, I want to say 2 or 3 times within the game, but that's not always our norm. So being able to have quick innings to go only 4 batters or less, that was one of our goals, and we stuck with it.
We start with Cat Nichols. She comes in, she hits a homer, and then she really contributes in the beginning of those first 3 innings. Would you just speak on her performance and impact in that game?
Yeah, Cat Nichols is a beast. Cat Nichols was a beast when I was recruiting her. Cat Nichols is powerful. There's so many great things that you can say about her, and she's also one of those people, and really everybody on the team is like this, but somebody that when they stick with their goal, they stick with, going back to their basics, the sky's the limit for her. Takia, like I said, she is powerful when she gets in those legs and stays in those legs and drives. She can hit every single time. So I definitely think that performance was just a performance of the normal Takia Nichols.
And we already touched on it a bit, but could you speak on Jaden Davis again? Her performance, just all offense in the world wouldn't have mattered if you didn't have a solid pitcher on that mound.
Yeah, for sure.
So just her performance in that game and just the fielding in general.
So really we had a game plan. We watch a lot of film as coaches. We told them kind of what the game plan was, and she stuck with that game plan, was pitching them outside, off speed. That isn't always her norm. So kind of going against the grain, but knowing what she needed for that team, and she executed. She did her thing every single time. Those hitters are swinging for the fences every time it's known, like their motto or whatever, they're definitely trying to take it out. So knowing that we, used that to our advantage and just kept the ball low, and she did a great job of keeping the ball in the park.
What does that win do for your team? Like a win like that against a Power 5 school, what does that do for your team?
So honestly, that's one of my goals as a coach. Sometimes HBCUs are looked down upon. I need our girls, as well as any HBCU out there, to know that they're capable of beating any PWI or any Power 5 school, whatever the case may be. A goal, like I said, for myself is to make that an understanding, make that, like, I did go to PWIs, but knowing that, being at a HBCU, you're powerful, you're able to play just as well as anybody else, and sometimes it's not always seen that way. So that's why, I play as many non-conference games as we play, just to kind of get the girls understanding that we don't always have success, but when we do have success and they're playing their best game, like I said, I think we beat ourselves this year a lot. So when they're playing their best game, we're capable of anything.
Coming off the back of that victory, a couple weeks later, you guys travel down to South Carolina and you get ready for the MEAC.
Yep.
So, could you talk about those 3 games that you played against South Carolina? You guys held your own and did what you had to do.
Yeah. So after the first game, I will say they got an earful. We did win, but it wasn't. I wasn't. A win is a win, yes, but I wasn't completely satisfied. I think that we had more as a team. We didn't hit well as a team, so on and so forth. And so I definitely, like I said, they heard something about it. But Jaden Davis, again, in that first game had 10 strikeouts, and I personally don't think that she was at her best, and we've talked about it. And then with the other games, we did the same thing. Jaden Davis had another 10 in the third game, and then we tag teamed it with Jayla Barr and Eubanks, and they both, like, pitching performances to me were not at their best, but I definitely think we did enough to win, and our bats came around when they needed to. We had a lot of timely hitting in that series, and I mean, that was kind of the game plan. The game plan is just being within yourself, being capable, knowing that you're capable, seeing the ball, hitting the ball, keeping it simple, and going after it.
Coming into our home games going up against Maryland Eastern Shore, could you just talk about the keys to victory in that setup and just keeping the win streak in the MEAC alive?
Yeah, I think anybody that we play and anybody, like whether it's MEAC or not, I definitely think that we have to bring that same. We can't change just because it's whatever the team may be. I think if we stay true to ourselves and go after it the same way with the same effort, giving the same homage to the game, I think that we're definitely going to find success.